How's it going, everyone? We've been doing a lot of coverage of digital game deals during the PSN spring sale, and it seems like you guys have enjoyed that, but I got you guys with some physical deals now, and there's a lot of great stuff discounted right now. But before we get into this video, a word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Naken. They've got two big titles available right now on PlayStation Plus Extra, playable free with your subscription. Both Session Skate Sim and Blood Bowl 3 are available with PlayStation Plus Extra. Session Skate Sim has authentic skateboarding gameplay with the dual stick controls. Each stick represents one of your feet. You'll need to learn how to control them and transfer weight just like on a real skateboard. The physics have been developed with a focus on realism, smoothness, and immersion. If you want a realistic skateboarding experience, Session Skate Sim is going to be the title you want to check out. And you also got Blood Bowl 3. Brutal, crazy, tactical. This is Blood Bowl. The iconic death sport returns with the new video game of fantasy football, faithfully using the latest board game rules and new content. Crush your way to the top and leave your opponents in the graveyard. If you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber or thinking about signing up to Plus Extra, make sure to check out my unique links in the description box below to check out both Session Skate Sim as well as Blood Bowl 3. Now onto the video. So yeah, we got a lot of great deals, some deals from Walmart, some Amazon deals, and some pretty good stuff all around. So let's get right into it with the Walmart deals, because Walmart, I don't know how long these deals are gonna last, but right off the top, I'll give this a shout just because the price point is the best I've seen. Naruto x BORUTO Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections is down to $30. Now, let's be real with this game. This game, Bandai Namco, you guys know I love Naruto. You guys know that I'm down bad for these Naruto games, and suckers like me are gonna continue to buy these games at $60, but this was one of the most egregious cash grabs that I've seen, you know? I've been complaining a lot about Star Wars Outlaws recently. Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections was one of the biggest cash grabs I think I've ever seen in video games, period. And maybe that sounds like hyperbole, but this is another game that had, I believe, $100 or $120 Ultimate Edition, and the Ultimate Edition content was so superfluous that it was clear as day to me. Now, the game itself is already a cash grab that I would say $60, absolutely no way, and it's very much like trying to get at the hardcore Naruto fans to pick this up, and pretty much, I feel like the idea has been established that these anime fans, the ones that enjoy the anime enough, they're gonna pick up the games. I mean, that Jujutsu Kaisen game was an abomination. I cannot explain how bad that game was, but Naruto x BORUTO Connections, you have the foundation for Naruto Storm, which I feel like is pretty enjoyable, but this is just such a carryover and slapped together content. It's not a true next-gen game. It has a decent little single-player component, a new single-player, it has two single-player components, one that takes you through the Naruto story, and then the other one, a original Boruto story. It's okay. I would say $30 should have been the price point it came out at. Now it's available for $30, but Bandai Namco, I know you can do, and you can put out quality anime games. I've seen DBZ Kakarot, I've seen One Piece Odyssey. Those games are really good. You can do something like that for Naruto. I damn well know you can. And we need Storm 5 at this point if you're gonna continue Storm. This is like, these nonsense games like Storm Connections, it's just obvious cash grabs. And when you're doing Ultimate Editions for north of $100, it's just mind-boggling to me. But nonetheless, diatribe and rant over. It's $30 if you enjoy Naruto Storm. You'll have a fine time with it, and good job not spending $60 on it, because it absolutely was not worth that. Next up, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition. The physical copy is $20. Now, you can get this cheaper digitally, but some of you guys like your physical copies, and $20 for it is damn good. There's the PS5 cover art, which is a little bit different than the PS4 cover art. I like the PS5 cover art better. Just don't like, we gotta slap the Netflix logo on it. I'm not crazy about that, but it does have that, you know, content inspired by the Netflix series. Nevertheless, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is one of the greatest video games of all time. I legitimately believe that. If you want a game that should be a study on how to deliver on a single-player experience, I feel like Witcher 3 is exactly that. It excels in every area. Usually when you have these big single-player games, there's an area where maybe it falls a little bit short of versus everything else. Performance, visuals, gameplay, story, content. The side content is relatively compelling with The Witcher 3. The DLC content is great for $20. I mean, it's a phenomenal deal. Even if the initial release at this point was 9 years ago, which is wild to think about. We're going to be talking about Witcher 3 being a decade old next year, and man, if anything is going to tell me that I'm an old man, that is. And I get it. Sometimes you guys get on me for calling myself old. I am in my 20s, but, you know, I feel it, man. I feel it, given we're talking about Witcher 3 being almost a decade old. But one of the greatest games of all time, highly recommended. Next up, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 on Woot. This is fulfilled via Amazon. PlayStation 5, $30 on this. Obviously, this collection left a lot to be desired for what it is, but you get MGS 1, 2, and 3 getting preserved, 3 of the greatest games of all time. MGS 3 is one of my favorite video games of all time, and I think MGS 3 is still my favorite in the entire series. I thought Snake Eater was so good, and obviously, you guys can imagine I'm very excited for the remake, and I feel like that's, you know, I feel like that's the general opinion that most people like Snake Eater the best. MGS 1 is great, MGS 2 pretty good as well. Getting all 3 of the games, you know, on a modern platform, that's obviously quite good. Could Konami have done more with this remaster collection? No, you're damn right they could have. Amazon deals, we've mentioned this before, but these deals before, but they're still available, so why not? And they are running a promotion that if you spend $250 on select items, you'll save $25. Obviously, I don't know how many of you guys are trying to crack $250 on select items, but some of these games do fall in that category, and there's a lot of games in that category. But starting things off, Unicorn Overlord, which came out just a month ago, 33% off for $40. Another fantastic JRPG. Just a little ill-timed. I get it that these games have to come out when they come out, but coming out a week after Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I get that that game is, there's quite a bit of dialogue online about that game underperforming, but still, as far as JRPG releases go, it was going to be hard to compete with a juggernaut of a release like that. Unicorn Overlord, however, it is a game that's for a niche audience, and it seemingly did fairly well, so kind of goes to show that, you know, competition aside, games, if they're good, are still going to sell relatively well, again, relative to expectations. Unicorn Overlord was never supposed to be this game that sold millions upon millions of copies. It was never going to be that, but it's a vanillaware title, and it's fantastic. Story's great, visual style obviously great, soundtrack's great, in-depth tactical gameplay, a lot of nuance and a lot of depth to it. Really did enjoy it from that standpoint, and I feel like from a gameplay standpoint, it excels. If you like your tactics RPGs, you'll enjoy it. There is an easy mode that really streamlines the difficulty if you just wanna, if you're not into tactics games, but it's relatively straightforward, and I feel like most of you guys can figure it out. There is a hard difficulty, obviously, that makes it more challenging, but yeah, $40 for it, given it's only a month old, I think this is a great deal, and I would definitely pick it up. A couple of Sega titles as well, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth at $40, that's still available. That is still, I think, my game of the year thus far. I really have to sit down. FF7 Rebirth was great, but as far as at the conclusion of the game, what game clicked with me more? And I think it's Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I think that is because it is such... it's such fan service to people that have been following these RGG games for so long, and yeah, Ichiban is already a phenomenal character, and this game was just tremendous. I just can't say enough good things about it. And so much depth to its gameplay, so much variety in its content, and you don't have to do everything. Dokkan Island or whatever, that wasn't my cup of tea. I barely spent any time with that. Like, that stuff ain't my cup of tea, but it's there, and people are spending hours upon hours with it. If you want to do it, go do it, but for me, like, the main story, some of the side stories, that's what I got into, and this game was just fantastic. Great soundtrack, man. Some of those battle themes are great. There's one that I literally have downloaded on my phone, and I listen to it regularly. Like, it's just a fantastic game. $40 is a great price. $70 is expensive, and I'll still crap on Sega for that nonsense with New Game Plus being locked to the deluxe edition. But man, what a fantastic game RGG delivered with Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Persona 3 Reload down to $40 as well. I'll crap on Sega as well for their release structure on this. I don't know who decided, Atlas, Sega, who ultimately made the decision, but not giving the FES content right out the gate, doing DLC, doing an Ultimate Edition, not including said DLC. Like, come on, bro, what are we doing here? But Persona 3 is obviously tremendous. A lot of people consider it to be the best in the entire series, so $40, obviously quite good. Star Wars Jedi Survivor down to $30. Again, talk about this ad nauseum. It's a phenomenal game, performance issues aside, which is kind of a big thing to put aside, let's be real, because some of the performance issues are definitely quite bad, but, you know, they did update the performance mode. Is it perfect? No, but it's a pretty damn good time still. Obviously, play Fallen Order first, which you can get for like sub $5 these days. I believe sub $5 right now. And lastly, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, 40% off for $30. Prince of Persia in the news as Evil Empire is working on the Rogue Prince of Persia. That's hitting early access. gonna be a ways out before we get the official release, but I thought The Lost Crown was fantastic. I thought this game was such a surprise, given that I feel like Ubisoft butchered this game's promotion going back to the initial announcement of the game, but as far as a Metroidvania goes, stylish visuals, gameplay is slick, challenging boss fights, story's fairly good, and a decent bit of content. I think $50 was a little bit pricey, but $30, perfect price for it. If this came out at $40, I would have said that would be a good price. At 30 bucks, obviously, no-brainer, definitely go check that out. And that is going to do it for me. Links to all of these deals, as always, will be in the description box below. Just a ton of good stuff, and I know some of you guys like your physical games these days. We got you covered, a lot of good stuff, so check it out, links down below. As always, thanks for watching. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.